Alright, we're on the Rainbow Falls Trail on our way up to Mount LeConte. It is 9:30 exactly, so it's a 6.6 mile hike up to LeConte, and we're going to take Bullhead Trail back, which is, what did I say, 5.8 or something like that.
Yeah.
So should be a good trip, and I'm excited to do this. Clear skies this morning, so that's awesome.
Hopefully no cloud cover when we get up there.
Yeah, hopefully no cloud cover when we get up there, but blue skies. I don't see any clouds in the sky at all, so we're gonna get on this hike and get her down.
Yes.
Excited.
Yes.
This is the Rainbow Falls Trail to LeConte, and then right next to it is the Trail and Gap Trail to the Grotto Falls. And this way here is kind of where we'll be coming from, the Bullhead Trail. That will take us back to the truck. We have been doing a steady incline since we got on the trail, and there's quite a few steps like this, stone steps, and then there's some dirt filled wooden dam steps is what I call them, timbers. We are following the creek going all the way up so far. Let's see how far we have gone. But I've only gone about a half a mile, so, but it's been pretty aggressive uphill half mile. I've only gone a half mile so far.
It's all uphill.
Yeah. Looks like we're about 1.4 miles up or in, and we're currently at almost 3,500 feet in elevation. Looks like we've climbed about 1,000 feet in elevation so far. Alright, we're about 1.8 miles in, and it looks like we're crossing the creek up here. So, a little bridge you can see. Morning. Pretty cool. It's a little bouncy in the middle.
It's a little bouncy.
Well, we're still climbing. Looks like there's maybe a waterfall, small one up here. .32 miles. We're at 4,005 foot elevation.
So pretty.
I think we're almost there. All this rock bridge that they've created here.
Normally it's a 2.8. Standard. Did you get it?
All right, we're back on the trail after Rainbow Falls. Spent a little time there, I don't know, 15-20 minutes. It is 11:50, so it took us, we was probably there for 15-20 minutes.
Yeah.
So it probably took us 2 hours to get to the falls from the trailhead. So that is pretty much the turnaround and go back point for mostly everybody that's on this trail. So we are continuing on. We have 4.2 miles to LeConte. It'll be so good when we get there. The mosquitoes are really bad right there at the waterfall.
Yep.
I wasn't paying attention. I had one on my back and my feet started lifting off the ground. I wasn't sure what was going on. April swatted away a mosquito that was about to carry me off with her climbing sticks here. So it says this trail after the falls is obviously less populated, less traveled, so the trail is probably not going to be as wide and used as much. So, but it also says that it's very steep. All right, we're still going up a pretty good incline. Done a series of switchbacks back here. We've been going for 40 minutes since the falls. 3 hours total. 3 hours and 10 minutes total. And we are just over halfway, so we're 3 miles, 3.1 miles or so to go. Yeah, this part of the trail took heavy fire damage. You see here. On up above us too a little bit. You see all the green. I don't know how long it'll take for the trees to start growing back, but yep. See those small spruce trees, pine trees, whatever they are. They're all, a bunch of them all the way down through there, popping up. I'd say another 5 or 6 years and they'll be up there pretty good. It's amazing how God created everything, but He created it to where it will sustain itself. Just like this fire that happened with all these pine trees. You get all these pine cones from these trees, fall to the ground, and then fire happens, and what happens there? The pine cones open up with the heat, and then they take root, and then they start to regrow. It's just amazing. He had it all figured out. He's got it all figured out. I believe that's Gatlinburg down there, isn't it?
It is.
Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, you can see it all. Wow. Thing is, if this wasn't burned off by fire, you might not be able to see this, because you'd be socked in with the trees and covered in trees. So it's just amazing. Just stopped, took a break. We got like 2 miles left, and we're getting hungry, so We stopped and took a few bites of our sandwich. Sat down on a nice rock, cool rock there for a minute. And now we're back on the trail. We are currently 4.6 miles. So we've basically got 2.6 miles to go, or 2.06 miles to go. And we're at 5,200 feet in elevation. Still got a little ways to go. About 2 more miles, so we've been averaging about 1.1 mile to an hour. I think for us, fat and out of shape, and only do this a couple times a year, I think that's pretty good for us. Of course, coming down will be quicker. So it's 1:43. We've been hiking for 4 hours and 15 minutes. And still got a couple hours left, so should get there around 6 o'clock, or sorry, 3:30. Maybe stay for an hour or so. Depends on what the clouds are doing. Right now we're back into the clouds again. So hopefully we can get a window where we can see a little bit of a view while we're up here. Alright, we are about right at a mile out, and looks like we made it to top of the ridge line for now. The hill's not quite as steep, but we're still going up. We are on the ridge line now, so it's basically downhill to the left and the right of us, and of course behind us. Still in the clouds for right now. Hopefully move out for a little bit as we get up here. We're pretty much here. .27. I said, what, 3 hours ago we'd get here about 3:30. 3:28. So there you go. Hi. There's the lodge.
Sure, this dude's real for me.
Let's go check it out. Oh, we gotta. (6,593 feet elevation. Alright, we getting ready to leave LeConte and hit the trail. It is 5:08 and we was on our way down, got maybe a tenth of a mile away from the lodge, and a guy stopped us that come up behind us and said, "Hey, did you guys go to the cliff tops?" I was like, "No." He goes, "Well, it's only 0.2, and he said it's the best views." I was like, "Alright," so we went and done it. Man, it was 0.2 miles straight up the mountain. It was the worst of everything that we did coming up. So, but we did it.
Yes.
And yeah, it was the best views by far.
Yep.
out front of the lodge. Couldn't really see that well. One, because of the clouds and the fog and all that, but this was pretty good. It was well worth it. So it was tiresome, but it was worth it. So we're on our way down now. It is 5:10, and thinking it may take us 2.5 hours or so. 2.5 hours, 3 hours to get down. So
6 up.
yeah, it took us 6 to go up, so should be able to do it twice as fast, I would think, going down.
I hope so.
So that would be at least 3 hours. So
Are we pushing dark?
yeah, it looks darker than what it is because we're cloud covered. So
Yeah.
April's already lost.
Look at the sign.
The trail to the left was the Alum Cave Trail.
Yeah, we
So
don't like that trail.
we don't want to go that way because it's not anywhere near the truck. So
No.
let's see how far we are down yet. .6 miles. Done. In about 30 minutes. So we're doing better than 2 miles an hour. So going up, we averaged 1.1. Coming down, I knew we would at least double that. So far we have.
Look at it. Look, you can see the path again.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's ours. I think it might be ours.
Yeah, that's our path that we take right there. Going down. Yeah, and you can see it all the way through.
Yeah. We're going to go through all that dead area over there. Or, well, burnt area.
That's 441 over there. I think the chimney tops is kind of like right here to the left, right over top of this hill.
Okay. Alright, well I got my bearings. I know where I'm at here.
I can see the Park Vista Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
See the sky lift, the Space Needle, whatever you want to call it, the lookout.
It's scary. We're gonna walk all that over there to get down.
Yeah.
So our truck's on the other side of that mountain.
Yeah, somewhere. This is straight down for a long way. A long way. I don't even know. I don't even know if I seen the bottom. This is one of the total
Lost area.
burnt out areas, so
Look at the pine cones. Oh my gosh, the pine cones are burnt on the tree.
yep.
You want me to get your phone out?
You see all these small little pines, like this one here. That's just from since the fire.
Yeah.
Alright, go on. We're tired and hungry. I don't know how much further we got. My phone's in the back of my pack getting charged. So we'll check it here in a little bit and see where we're at. Gotta be getting close because
We still have llama tracks too, so
yeah.
we're on the right one.
Well, I said
2 hours.
2 hours, and that we're past the 2 hours, so just right at the 2 hours, so we probably got a half hour left. We just figured up we've been averaging 1.75 miles per hour so far. We've gone 3.5 miles, and we've got about 2.3 miles to go, so we've probably already went a couple tenths, so it's probably around 2 miles left to go. And as you can see, we're still in the burnout section, which is on this side of the mountain has been a lot. Yeah, we haven't passed or heard or seen anybody since we left LeConte. I think mostly everybody's taken Rainbow Falls down. Which we wanted to do another trail, so I'm just so glad we didn't do this trail going up.
Yes.
Because it would have been so hot. We probably would have had to stay in a shelter up there, because I don't know that we would have been able to make it up there in time to be able to get back down by dark. I mean, we're going to be pushing it. It's 7:30 right now. Probably got another hour, just over an hour walking, so it'll be 8:30. It'll be pushing dark, so we shouldn't have probably went up to the lookout up there, because that killed a lot. Cliff top. So, but the guy said it was worth it, which it was. It was nice, but it took up a bunch of our time, so just about fell. 4 miles, 4.04 miles done. So I think it's 1.9, so we're just under 2 miles that we need to go yet. Starting to head across to the other side of the mountain a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we finally got out of it, I think. Majority of it anyway. Alright, this is a recap for our hike to Mount LeConte and LeConte Lodge. This is actually Friday. We done our hike on Wednesday, so a couple days later we doing a recap, but we didn't get back to the camper till about 10 o'clock Wednesday night. Of course, we were tired and hurting and everything else, so we got cleaned up and went to bed. But yesterday was a loaf day, and got some laundry caught up and downloaded all the footage and went through some of that and done all that. So we didn't really do anything yesterday. We stayed here in the campground. I think we left once just to go to Dollar General to get a couple things, but other than that, we stayed right here. So kind of recap of our hike. We took Rainbow Falls Trail up to LeConte, that trail is 6.6 miles, and the return trail was Bullhead Trail, which is 5.9 miles. So after figuring it up and actually looking at it afterwards, I didn't really study the trail too much before, but the Bullhead Trail starts about a half a mile down Rainbow Falls Trail from LeConte. So that 5.9, you had to add a half a mile or 6/10 of a mile, and then the Bullhead Trail the trailhead didn't end at the parking lot, which Rainbow Falls Trail did, so that was another half a mile. So that 5.9 mile trail that I thought we were taking back was actually 6.9 or 7 miles. So it was actually a longer way to get back. Didn't realize that until we were already halfway down. So but it was definitely the hardest thing that we have done physically, and man, it was the last mile or so. Rainbow Falls going up was literally torture. We were ready for it to be over, and every bend we went around, we was, please just let this be the end. And of course there was just more trail. So but we done it. I'll kind of give you some stats here. So Rainbow Falls Trail is 6.6 miles from the trailhead parking lot to LeConte, and the waterfalls, Rainbow Waterfall, is about halfway. It's not quite, but almost. Total elevation at LeConte is 6,593 feet at the lodge. So from the start of Rainbow Fall Trails to LeConte is just under 4,000 foot of elevation gain. So that's a lot. It took us 6 hours to go up. Right at 6 hours, we started the trail at 9:30 in the morning, and we got to the lodge at 3:30. And that's, we're stopping and taking pictures and video and everything a lot too, so that took some time up, but we averaged 1.1 miles per hour on the way up, and the way down we took Bullhead Trail, which is 5.9 miles, but then you got 0.5 or 0.6 miles that you have to travel on Rainbow Fall Trails from the lodge to get to the Bullhead Trailhead. And then at the end of the trail is another half a mile or so to the parking lot, in which we didn't park in the main parking lot. We had to park in the overflow parking lot, which was probably another 1/10 of a mile. So we had to probably travel another 0.6 miles to the actual truck. So our total descent was around 6.9 to 7 miles. We started the descent at LeConte Lodge at 5:10 p.m. and we got to the truck at 8:30, which it was dark. We were actually, that's 3 hours and 20 minutes for a descent, which was an average of 2.07 miles per hour. We got to the lodge at 3:30. We gave ourselves an hour, and we were going to head down at 4:30, and we started to go down, and we were probably 1/10 of a mile onto the trail, and a guy come up behind us and asked if we went to the cliff tops, and we was like, no. He goes, that's the best views of the Smokies. And because the views from the actual lodge wasn't all that great. It's kind of smoky, cloudy. So he talked us into it, and we turned around, and the trail from the lodge is only 0.2 miles. So he goes, it's only 0.2 miles. It's only 0.2 miles. I'm like, okay, well that's not too bad, but. Well, it was, because once we got there and started up the trail, it was the steepest part of any of the trail that we had been on so far. And it was literally 0.2 miles straight up. I don't know what the elevation gain was, didn't check that. But it was pretty tough, but the views was the best. It was awesome. Got some good pictures and video and everything from there, and because I couldn't hardly get anything from the lodge, because it wasn't clouds weren't cooperating, and it was smoky, cloudy. So but we did it, and by the time we done that and headed back down, we got at the start of Rainbow Falls Trail. It was 5:10, so we took like 40 minutes to get up there and get back and spend our time up there. So that put us behind, but that's why we didn't get to the truck until 8:30. So, and it was literally dark. I mean, it was dark. So it was exciting. I'm so glad that we done it, but man, it's brutal doing the hike up and down in the same day. I would not suggest doing that. If you're going to do it, I would suggest to do it, go up, spend the night, and then come down the next day. That would have been so much better, but we weren't prepared to do that, so we that's why we wanted to go up and go down. Time wise, it took us longer to get up, and than what we had anticipated, or what I had anticipated. So of course, we stopped at the falls. We were probably there 15-20 minutes. Not a whole lot of time, but enough. Take a little break and enjoy the falls for a few. And it was just extremely difficult trail. I believe it was the trail's rated as difficult. Yeah, but it was fun. Would I do it again all in one day? No, I wouldn't do it all again in one day. I would only go up, spend a night, and then come back down the next day. So when I got back to the camper, I looked at my watch, and it tracks my steps that I took, and I had 51,500 steps for that day. So every step I take, my watch counts that in 51,500 steps. We went to Chicago. I think I only had like 30,000 steps or something that day, and man, we walked and walked and walked that day. But yeah, 51,500 steps in one day. That's crazy. So, but Kenny and Angie's here today. They come in late last night, so we sat down here beside the fire a little bit, relaxed, and got caught up, and we went to bed. So we got up this morning and ate some biscuits and gravy, and we're getting ready to head, I think, to the lodge store. So we'll probably go to Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, and do some stuff like that. And I think tomorrow we're gonna go maybe to Cades Cove. So tomorrow will be our last full day, and then Sunday we leave. So that's a game plan for today. I think I'm gonna take a camera and maybe not get too much footage today, but we'll see if we can get a little bit. So all right, we'll check back later.